conflict or tension in the team, I don't. No, I just ignore it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't spoken to Susan for about 3.5 years now. Works quite successfully. Other than when we have to collaborate, yeah, that's a bit awkward. I have to go through Janet. Yeah. If people in my team don't get along, oh, I just ignore that as well. Yeah, tell them to get on with it. Yeah, work it out amongst themselves. Does that work? No, not really. There's an awful atmosphere in the office, but what can you do? Don't like conflict. No. Isn't that my role as leader to sort that sort of thing out? Probably. Yeah. You can't be good at everything, can you? Just one of those things I don't like, so I avoid it. What's the outcome? Generally speaking, means that projects don't go as well as they might. Yeah, people aren't collaborating as efficiently as they should do. And yeah, there's usually a bit of throwing people under the bus, that sort of thing. A bit of a blame culture. Yeah, just a bit awkward. People aren't very happy in the office. No. So it probably is quite a big thing, isn't it? But no, I'm still not going to do anything about it. It makes me feel so icky.
I think this is so common, it's default state. Look, and in interest of disclosure, one of us here is a grenade thrower. So I'm interested to know, I've said it's default state for most leaders I've seen. Is it for you, if you were a leader? Would you be your preference? Less work, less conflict?
Every place I've worked at professionally, what I've seen is when there is a new manager in place, first quarter, maybe up to the second quarter, so up to 6 months, in the honeymoon phase, there is an effort to tackle conflict. Post 6 months, I haven't seen anybody that isn't overwhelmed. And once they're overwhelmed, this is in full force. It's universal.
Yeah, I think it's universal. I think it's universal, and I think, in a way, the productivity and the toxic atmosphere somehow aren't enough motivation to change state. I don't think it is.
Can you see why I quite like these clips, though?
This one is fantastic. I like it. They should call this default operating model.
The worst thing is, right, if you show this to a team lead, I think, because a lot of them will say, no, that doesn't happen.
They're too embarrassed and immature, and probably insecure to admit that this is the standard operating model.
Yeah.
It's default.
Yeah.
I would challenge anyone to say you're not like this. Absolutely. And your example of the honeymoon period, yeah. Once overwhelm sets in, this is by the book.
Since you mentioned the grenade thrower thing, I never want to be labelled as the person that is difficult for the sake of it. So I'd say that when I make things difficult, it's few and far between. But when I do, no, it's not an acceptable. Ignorance is not an acceptable answer.
Yeah, I'll also say one thing as well. In a lot of big tier 1 type companies, you're also hamstrung by HR. So the best outcome you could actually achieve is not actually firing someone or moving someone from the team. It's just the net outcome is I need you guys to get along.
Yeah,
you actually can't do anything.
Don't get me there.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. So this is the next clip. It's her again.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely a default operating model.